Hi, John Stevens back again, Manager, Pastoral Life and New Evangelization for the Archdiocese of Halifax-Yarmouth. Thank you for bearing with us through these training videos. We hope that you're finding them useful and helpful in preparing your team for our discernment process. One of the key components of the discernment process is what we're calling our Lenten series. It's a series of videos, gospel contemplation and reflection, and survey. They all go together on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Sundays of Lent to help get a culmination of all the discernment that we've done so far, and to be able to reflect more deeply and fully on the vision that's been laid out for us in the Archbishop's pastoral letter. So it's a key component of our discernment process. So I'm very excited about the videos that are going to form part of this thing. These videos they're kind of neat based on feedback that we've got before. Like right now you're looking at me and I'm a talking head, and that can get boring for 20 or 30 minutes. And so what we've done is we've got really cool thought leader type people who are going to sit with the bishop in a conversation style format and talk about mission and talk about community and talk about formation. And so for mission, we have Father James Mallon from St. Benedict Parish and author of Divine Renovation. For community, we have Sister Nuala Kenny, a medical doctor and chair of bioethics at Dalhousie University and someone very acquainted with the sexual abuse crisis and the impact that it's had on the Catholic community. And for formation, we have Dr. David Dean, Associate Professor of Theology at the Atlantic School of Theology and the Director of our Diploma in the New Evangelization Program. So these people are really engaged and interested in these three topics, and you're going to benefit from them and the Bishop exempling for us what conversation and dialogue and encounter really look like. And then on either end of those interviews, the Bishop will introduce the topic and take a small moment to say, this is what it's about. This is what we're going to talk about. This is mission. This is community. This is formation. And at the end, he's going to tie it all into the scripture for that week. So the 3rd, 4th, and 5th Sundays of Lent. And so you'll have an opportunity to transition right from the video to your own contemplation of the scripture. And so in our next video, Father Rob is going to break out the process of gospel contemplation. But that's what's going to happen. The Bishop is going to link what we just heard to the gospel for that week. You're going to read that gospel for that week, contemplate that gospel for that week, then engage in spiritual conversation about the topic at hand, about the gospel, and answering the question, where are you going, Lord, for us? And then after doing all that, you'll be able to be equipped to sit down and fill out what we're calling our discernment survey. And the discernment survey is a series of questions on mission and on community and in formation that ask really questions that you have said we need to ask of ourselves. They're questions that were raised in our assembly, actions that we said in our assembly that we have to undertake, the necessary supports we said in our assembly that we have to be able to accomplish this vision and bring this vision into reality. And so the questions on that discernment survey are questions that will help us know where we're strong, and where the Lord might be calling us to go deeper and go better. And so the survey takes and records the reflection and contemplation and conversation that you'll be undertaking in the Lenten series. You start to combine all of this with what we've already done with the parish ministry reports and the parish stats worksheet, and now we have what we've been calling a really clear picture of what's happening in our parish, of what the people are thinking and what the people are experiencing and what we're actually doing and how we're spending our energy and how we're expending our efforts. Are we being good stewards of our time, of our talent, and our treasure? Is it advancing the mission and vision of our particular church? And these questions can only be answered when we look at ourselves in the light and from the eyes of the Lord and say, Lord, where are you going? We now know where we're standing. We need to know which direction we need to be pointed in, and we need to take the steps to get there. This is the Lenten process that we're going to repeat every year. And the discernment survey that we do at the end is a key outcome, but it's not the end of itself. It's that prayer and reflection, that learning from thought leaders about what mission is, what community is, what formation is. The reflection, hearing from the Lord about what He's asking us to be in our time and place, and the conversation we have with one another. And that's why it's so important, and you'll hear about this when we talk about the survey, that happens in the context of this process. So I'm looking forward to Lent. I know you're not supposed to look forward to Lent because, you're supposed to give stuff up. It's supposed to not be very much fun and all that kind of stuff, but I'm looking forward to Lent. And I hope that you are too, because this is going to be an excellent process and hopefully a transformative one for your local church and for all of us individually. God bless.